Here in Taiwan, we have established communities for river tracing and canyoning. Some of them even source and sell hardware and gear. These 8mm stainless steel welded rings can be purchased from a local canyoner here in Taiwan, but they were manufactured in China. So M8 304, these are 40 millimeters. 67.11. 44.27.
Still
This
force.
little piece of metal
Yeah.
is literally holding all that. Somehow 78. Look what it did to my shackle. Oh no! Soft shackle broke. Wow. Ring is hanging on. 65.5. My wife's dad, her first homemade soft shackle broke. 316 stainless steel M8. Not as high. We got 19.27. And here's where the weld is. I mean,
It's still pretty high.
yeah, it's safe enough, right? But
It's just
the range is wild. So let's see what the second one is.
Are these all the same manufacturer?
64.75. There's our ring. Galvanized M12 malleum broke. 54.8. 43.83. So here's our brake tests. Between the samples, we got a range of 10, 20, and even 45 kN. So let's talk about this ring that broke at 19 kN, but the other one broke at about 65 kN. For some, this big range is a definite concern because obviously there's some lack of consistency. For others, maybe knowing that 19 kN is about the lowest that they'll fail, and given that they'll probably only see some low load rappelling or canyoneering, maybe 19 kN is okay for them. Like for example, SMC sells a rolled aluminum descending ring rated to 14 kN. Does the 19 kN braking strength worry me? No, because a Dyneema sling can brake for about that. However, it's a number that I would like to know. That way I can decide the best use and application for that piece of hardware. And with only testing 2 samples, I still don't know if 19 kN is the lowest that this batch will break at. So the seller gave me these rings and some other items to test. We recently sat down together and had a chat about manufacturing and sourcing. His items actually come from different factories. However, he told me that he's currently dealing with a more smaller factory that communicates better and lets the client have more say in things. We talked about welding processes, challenges that could arise, and what you can expect to get for your budget. You know, with these rings only costing about 40 NT, that's $125. What should your expectations be for that price? You want rings welded in another manner, manufactured without seams, conduct costly non-destructive testing, or choose a satisfactory sample size to brake test? You know, all that gets factored into the end costs that the customer pays. All in all, you get what you pay for. And I mean that in a good way and in a bad way too. So why are some canyoners here buying these? The seller shared with me here in Taiwan, some of our canyons can face extreme conditions, especially during monsoon months, during which sometimes anchors can get damaged or washed out, and the following season might need to get replaced. Or when exploring or routing, some may choose to carry an inexpensive lightweight hardware kit, but in the future, switch to some more durable, permanent stuff for future parties to use. I've done some canyoning back in the States, but stick to mostly climbing here in Taiwan. Even though some of the hardware climbers and canyoners use is similar, the expected loads, the amount of usage, the conditions they undergo, and the lifespan, you know, all this can differ. Not to mention cultures and standards, those can differ too. All in all, I'm just trying to learn and understand different points of views. I know there's a lot more that can be said on these topics, but we'll save that for some other videos. Anyways, thanks for watching.